Good evening and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Naomi, the How To Chick. It is Wednesday night at 9 p.m. or thereabouts Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about a little song that I used to sing when I was much, much younger. And not because the song is so important, but because it's so apropos today in this moment. So, if this is your first time catching one of my lives, my name is Naomi. I go by the How To Chick. I'm a child of God, a wife, a mom, an attorney, a coach, a mentor, and a speaker. Most importantly, though, I believe that you can do anything, but you can't do everything. And that's the topic of the post tonight. I was watching a video today of a young lady who works in publishing, and she was talking about how so many people are kind of freaking out by the things that they're seeing going on around them. Um, I'm an attorney, which I pointed out. And I think sometimes when you see the headlines and then you read the underlying decision and then you see what's happening, it starts to create a little bit of anxiety. I think for a lot of people, a lot of the very smart people are really and rightly concerned about what is going on in the United States of America right now. But the result of that can end up being anxiety, it can end up being stress, it can be confusion, and it can create an overwhelm that causes you to be paralyzed and not feel comfortable doing even the thing that you can do because you're so stressed out. There's so many things going on and you're wondering, what is it that I can do? How can I show up? What is my capacity in this moment? And for many people, those questions alone cause them to spiral, burnout, whatever you want to call it, because they recognize that the enormity of the world's grief is too much. And there is a quote, I love it, love it, love it. It says, do not be consumed by the enormity of the world's grief, but instead do justly now. Love mercy now. Walk humbly now. You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. And the reason that I'm bringing this up today is because this lady, and again, like I said, she worked in publishing and she was talking about how when we see the boundaries being tested, most people are only seeing the deportations and the disappearings. Most people are only hearing the alarm bells from big law and the corporations and the universities that are pushing back against unconstitutional, authoritarian, very clearly policies and stances that have been taken by the current administration. But what they're not seeing is the fact that this is happening everywhere, in every area. The boundaries are being tested. And she likened it to a scene in Jurassic Park. And there's this scene, and the guys, they're like, "Why are the velociraptors running into the gate?" He said, "They're not like they thought. Maybe they're suicidal, maybe they're crazy, maybe they've lost their mind. No, they're testing the boundary. They're testing the gate. They want to see if it's going to hold." And for many people, the overwhelm in every area causes us to feel like we don't have anything to give and we can't. And it may be true that you simply can't, that you are too overwhelmed and too exhausted and too, dare I say, anxious about what's going on in your own life. But it is important that we do remember our charge. There was a song that I learned, and this is why I said I was coming on to talk about a song. There was a song I learned when I was very small, probably 3, 4 years old, kindergarten, cradle roll age. And it said, "Brighten the corner where you are." And as I was listening to the lady talk today, she said, don't be stressed out about what's going on with books. Don't be stressed out by the fact that, the universities are having their funding withdrawn. There are really smart people, really smart lawyers. There are tons of people fighting those fights. She said, it's important for you to recognize what affects you, what your expertise is in, and where you can stand up. And as soon as she said that, that song started playing in the back of my head. And the song says, Brighten the corner where you are. Don't wait until some deed of greatness you may do. Brighten the corner where you are. It says, Don't let selfishness your way debar. Though into one heart alone may fall your song of cheer, brighten the corner where you are. There's like 5 verses to this song, and I used to love this song. It says, To the many duties ever near you now, be true. Brighten the corner where you are. Someone far from harbor may you guide across the bar. Brighten the corner where you are. Just above are clouded skies that you may help to clear. Don't let selfishness your way debar. Though into one heart alone may fall your song of cheer, brighten the corner where you are. Here, for all your talents, you may surely find a need. Here, reflect the bright and morning star. Even from your humble hand, the bread of life may feed. Brighten the corner where you are. And I love that song because it was a catchy little tune and it was so happy, and we would always sing it with such joy. But I did not fully understand that song until much later in life. But right now, in this season, that song is what we need above all. There are large fights being waged everywhere. And if we are going to maintain a life for ourselves, if we are going to maintain a life for our families, if generations are not going to be permanently altered by what's happening today, the fights have to go on. But not every fight is your fight. And if you abandon your post, if you abandon your purpose, if you abandon what you're called to do, the light that you were needed to shed to help guide someone across the bar where you are would be missing. And so I wanted to encourage you tonight. This one is going to be a really short one. If you're feeling tired, if you're feeling useless, if you're feeling overwhelmed by everything that you're seeing and that you're hearing, and you feel like I don't have big money to contribute, I don't have a lot of time, or I have a job that will not authorize me to go out and volunteer to do XYZ, or maybe I'm undocumented myself, or I have relatives that are undocumented. I don't want a sign on my back. I'm worried, but I don't know how to help in a way that's safe. Your purpose Your purpose is to brighten the corner where you are. We can all do something, and it is so important that we do that. Even if our purpose, even if our assignment in this season is to bring cheer, to bring hope, to bring joy. Tonight, the kids and I were just talking about, you guys know I'm unapologetically a God girl, and God gives the Great Commission. He says, Go, teach all nations, teach them, baptize them in the name of the Father, teach them to observe what I have commanded you. And what did God command? He said, There is one thing that I desire: love God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourselves. And you guys know the saying that I gave from the Talmud earlier: do not become overwhelmed with the enormity of the world's grief. It plays on Micah 6:8, which is one of my favorite texts, if not my favorite. They go back and forth. And it says that we are required, God is asking us to do what is just, to love mercy. If you are a person who calls themselves a child of God and you do not do what is just and love mercy, He does not know you. But we are also asked to walk humbly. And this is the part where so many of us stumble. The part where we all want to be part of something big, something really huge, to really change the tide. And God is saying, brighten the corner where you are. Do what I need you to do today. Pick up the phone and call that person today. Go by the hospital for that visit today. Go check on your neighbor today. Go donate to that mutual aid society. Go buy that one box of diapers. Yes, you may not be able to afford to give $100 or $50, but you can go buy a box of diapers and donate to the bank. You can go to the food bank and drop off some canned good. You can go work 2 nights a week for a couple of hours at the food bank or at the shelter or wherever it is. It is important that even when we become or we feel as though we are becoming overwhelmed, that we focus on grounding ourselves, finding our corner, remembering our assignment, fixing our purpose, and never losing hope that he who began a good work will complete it. He's going to finish it. We don't have to finish it. And, to my non believers, I get that this sounds crazy if you're even here. But the thing about God is, he doesn't ask us to believe without evidence. And I've seen it for myself. So you can DM me, you can talk to me, you can, do you have a few days to hear about the goodness of God in my life? Because I can tell you about it. But what I will tell you is this. We cannot be daunted and overwhelmed, so much so that we do not do what we can. Whether it's being true to the boycotts, whether it is choosing to inconvenience ourselves to send the messages that need to be sent, whether it is standing in a picket line, whether it is refusing to cross a strike line, whether it is supporting our neighbors, whatever it is, even when it comes down to it, what so many people disdain to do in November, vote. There is still something in our hand that we can do, and we must be faithful and focused on our assignment. So tonight, even if you're tired, even if you're weary, even if the headlines have your brain spinning and your nervous system in full-on fight or flight mode, and your mind and your spirit is shut down and you feel incapable of doing anything at all, take your time, do a meditation, relax your mind, pray the promises of God over your life, recenter, refocus, and brighten the corner where you are. We are called to be light. We are called to be salt. And there are so many people who are hurting right now, and they need to see our faith in real time. They don't need to see that we still have our jobs or we still have our backup, business, or that our finances are together. They need to see our faith displayed in real time, because there are many of us who are being affected by these policies that are going on, and we are acting just like the world when they are affected by these policies and things that are going on around us. We can't do that. We have to learn, as Paul said, in whatever circumstance we find ourselves therein, to be content. If we are going to preach the gospel, we shouldn't have to use words, only when necessary. And it's usually not necessary. Do what is just. Love mercy. Walk humbly. We can change the tide through faith, through prayer, through holding our position, and by ensuring that we complete our assignments and brighten the corner where we are. I hope that this has helped you. It has been a word that I needed in this season, because I am one who wants to do so much and has time to do so little. And I sometimes let the guilt overwhelm me of what I can't do, what I don't have time to do, what I don't have capacity, resources, finances to do. And I worry that I have missed my mark. And God is telling me consistently, do justice, love mercy, walk humbly. And tonight I'll share with you, brighten the corner where you are. Remember, we can do anything. All things are possible through God who gives us strength, but we can't do everything. And we have to choose wisely. And as I always said, for me, that is allowing the Holy Spirit to do that choosing. Stay on your mark. Focus on your assignment. Brighten your corner. I hope to see you next week for Wisdom Wednesday. Have a wonderful week and good night.